call a Clear Lake Shores regular council meeting to order March 5th, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. We have a quorum, and we will say the Pledge of Allegiance.
All I wanted to say that we have a Civic Association meeting on Thursday night. It's a mix and mingle where you can meet all the new people moving to town, and they're having pizza. I would like for everybody to join it. They do a whole lot of good stuff for us, and we got a scholarship fund coming up. When is that? I believe in May. So we'd like y'all all participate with the Civic Association.
All right, thank you, Ed. Rick Fisher?
I just hope everybody had a chance to go out and vote either early last week or today for the elections. It'll be closing up here in like a half hour or so. We're going to have a Parks and Pool meeting today. Unfortunately, that ended up getting canceled and postponed until 2 weeks from today on the 19th. So that'll be 19th at 1 o'clock, correct? Okay. Just skipping ahead to the Civic Club. We're not going to be here for the Civic Club meeting on Thursday, but we are going to be doing Steak and Sinatra again this year, and we have it scheduled for Saturday, May 11th, from probably 6 to 9, the usual. It'll be here in the clubhouse. They're going to be talking more about it at the meeting on Thursday, but just want to give you a heads up on that. Sam and I are going to be doing that one again.
All right, thank you, Rick.
Sure.
Jeff Terrell?
I have nothing to report this week.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Alex Scanlon?
I just want everyone to know that our mayor, Randy, has really stepped up and filled in for the city administrator role and is doing a great job with it, keeping me busy, keeping me in the loop. So I appreciate that, and we're lucky to have the man. So we're in a good spot. Thanks, Randy.
I appreciate that. I'm still waiting on that email with all those RFPs, just so you know.
All my fault.
Ball's in your court. Amanda Fendick, Mayor Pro Tem.
So that's a nice segue. Alex, thank you. Not that we're trying to kick Randy out of the city administrator role, but I have been working with Valerie to get our job posting. She sent it today. It looks great, of course, as per usual. And so now, speaking of the ball being in somebody's court, Mayor, I'm looking to you for any feedback on that. If not, once you take a look at it, we can get it posted. So hopefully we'll get the ball rolling on trying to get some applications in for new city administrator, and then the plan there is that we'll review them as a council, narrow it down, and then conduct interviews, whether that's 3, 5, 2. I think it all just kind of depends on what the candidate pool looks like. So hopefully, the next month or so, we can really make some headway on that. So, and then Rick, Jay, and I'll help with Steak and Sinatra night. Count us in. That's all I got.
So, yes, I did see it. Thank you very much, Valerie, but thank you for your input, Amanda, because I kind of turned that over to you to take care of for me. So I thought it looked great. I can't wait to put it out. I'm thinking we could put it out in the next day or so and start that process.
So, Christy, do you help us put that on TML, the TML site? Okay, cool. I'll get with you then.
All right. So, speaking of city administrator and mayor, I got a pretty long, I just combined all of mine. So there's going to be a lot of information, but just a little bit of update on a lot of things. So Jorge's working on Depot Park. That gazebo, the whole floor was kind of rotted. You could probably step through it. I didn't want anybody to break an ankle. He's pretty much got the floor of that finished. He's going to be finishing up that hopefully that one by the end of the week. And then over at the other enclosed area there, at Depot, all the handrails are falling apart. Everything's falling apart on that. So most of the structure's in good shape. There's just some rotten wood around the handrails. So when he finishes the one project, he's going to be moving over there to finish that, and then they'll start painting that and get it back to looking normal. They're doing a great job. So if you guys see them out in the community, I cannot tell you enough how lucky we are to have those two guys. I say it all the time, they do the work of 10 people, and they are very attentive. I can tell you from the experience that I've had in less than a year being the mayor, be careful what you ask them for, because it's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen pretty quick, like within the next 24 hours. I always tell them, I don't need this week, just when you get to it, can you get to it? And it's done the next day. It's very, very nice to have those kind of work ethics that they have. We're lucky. So we are going to have, this is kind of runs into roads and drainage, but I want the public all to know this. So on March 13th, 14th, there's a company called PMG, Pavement Managing Group, that's going to come, and they're going to be on the island taking pictures of our roads. We are trying through roads and drainage to merge that with a bunch of our drainage plans and kind of come up with a master drainage plan and a master road plan. We started this project a couple years ago, am I right, Alex? And it's a very good way of maintaining our roads instead of waiting until they fall apart. So if you see some strange car driving around, and I'll get with you, David, they're going to give me the license plate number and everything, taking pictures, taking measurements, it's okay, it's safe. They're doing something that Roads and Drainage has hired them to do. They had an open house at the Children's Library the other day, and they wanted me to remind you, there was a lot of people that said they didn't know we had one. We have one. It's very nice. It's full of books. It's open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and it's all done on the honor system. You take a book, you leave a book, or you take a book and you bring one back, however you want that to work, but don't steal all the books from the free library. They had a lot of children there. A lot of the kids were having a good time. I didn't make it. I was working the rodeo that day, so I didn't make it there, but they said it was fun. We talked about the Okies drainage. That's just a project that Alex and I were working on. I think that's going to happen pretty quickly now that we've passed that. So we'll get that done and get that moving. We met with FEMA. Okay, so there was a group of us from the city that met with FEMA Thursday the 29th in the morning around 10 a.m. So we met with Debbie Vasick, and believe it or not, our FEMA representative made time to come down and actually speak with us. So I learned a lot of information. Some of it wasn't what I wanted, but it is what it is. At one point I had mentioned in one of the meetings that we had some people from the city feeding information to FEMA, and that was taking longer to close the cab. Well, I've learned that now what I thought was down to 22 to 30 homes is 110 plus homes. So I'm not here to scare anybody. I just want to make sure that you guys pass the word out. There are going to be letters sent out from the city, and that is going to be a requirement from FEMA. They're going to require us to uphold our ordinance. There's going to be 110 plus letters go out. There's going to be some of those people that are in compliance right off the bat. FEMA drives by, they see air conditioning units, they see things that look like living space, if you will, and they write it down and they make a master list. I know Angie, I had mentioned this before, Angie and I looked at some of the questions they had on a few of them up front, and we were able to supply base flood elevation certificates to them, and so they took them off the list because they just wanted to know what was going on, what was their base flood elevation. They didn't have a record of it. So there may be some of these that once you get the letter, it's just a matter of showing pictures of the area they're requesting. I don't think it's going to be that hard for a lot of people. Some of these are going to fall off that list pretty quickly. I did learn that this man would love to come down and have a town hall meeting and speak on FEMA's behalf, which we are going to do that sooner than later. I've reached out to him today, actually, and trying to get that scheduled. Because I'd like for the citizens to hear, you know, in the past there's been accusations of us being crooked and picking on people. It's not that. It's coming from FEMA. It's not coming from us. We're just the pass-through for FEMA. They're holding us to that ordinance, and it is very, very important. I knew it was important before, but I learned last Thursday how important it is. We could lose our flood insurance program if people do not comply, and that's a problem for our city. you'll lose mortgages, houses won't be able to get insurance. It's just a really bad thing. We are not in jeopardy of that just yet. We are safe at the moment as long as we comply with what they're asking us to do, and we have been in compliance so far. So when these letters goes out, don't take it as a personal thing. It's not a personal thing. It's something that FEMA's requiring us to do, and we just need to see what we can do about working towards compliance, and I think we'll put that to rest. Moving forward, we are updating our substantial damage ordinance. They gave me a template for this letter. They're working with us quite a bit when they could have just said, you're done. I mean, 6 years into a cab, they could have easily said, we're done with you. You're not in it anymore. And they haven't done that. They've taken a much different approach, and they're very helpful. And that meeting was very, very good, in my opinion. I thought it was a healthy meeting, but it gave us a whole lot of information. So those letters will be going out soon. They have not given me that list, but I guarantee you the second they do, Angie will probably work for 2 straight days getting those letters out so we can start moving toward compliance. One thing I did today is, before you leave, take one of the handouts I put over here on this table. I've been in several meetings with KEMA, about their one-way streets that they're going to be having over there. What does on that rendering is what's going to happen. They're going to vote on it tomorrow night. They have worked on this tirelessly. They had no idea this was happening. It was all started with a parking garage that they were going to put in long before TxDOT even started 146, and no one withdrew that information. So now they're down to the wire, and they have to do something pretty quickly, or it's going to cost that city a lot of money. So that is a rendering. There's a green line on that page of a golf cart pedestrian pathway. We will be able to get in and out of there. We talked about it. I've seen it in a blown up picture instead of just that. I will bring more information back once they actually pass it. We will probably do a presentation here so everybody knows how to negotiate the traffic over there, and we don't go over there and get in trouble. Last thing we want to do is be over there getting in trouble. So that's kind of an update on that. Be sure you get one, pass it out, let everybody know. We'll give more information on that. Let's see. Parking plan. Oh, update for Okies and what is now going to be, we can stop calling that Soul Freak because it has a new name. That name is going to be Little Outriggers Hula Bar and Grill. So the Little Outriggers Hula Bar and Grill is planning to be finished and opened up around mid-April. When I talked to Billy and Rob today about Okies progression, they're looking at about the same time frame to have their awning up, their covered area, and a place where people can go eat, drink, and be cool. So they're both looking at about mid-April, which is not too far off. And I think that's about it. Can anybody think of anything they can remind me of? Because I think that's about all I got. Okay. Moving on, staff reports, Police Chief David Donaldson.
For the month of February, we had 249 traffic contacts, 1 DWI, 3 narcotic offenses, 4 accidents, 1 fraud, 2 assault, 3 theft, 13 arrests, that includes warrant arrests. Assist other agencies, 8, residential checks 71, business checks 376, welfare checks 1. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Moving on, public comments. At this time, any person with city-related business may speak to the council. If the topic of discussion is related to an item on the agenda, the comments may be made now or at the time the agenda item is discussed. If the topic of discussion is not related to an item on the agenda, the city council cannot deliberate or take any action at this time. Comments from the public should be limited to a maximum of 3 minutes per individual. Is there anyone that would like to address the city council? Okay, we'll close the public comments and we'll move on to number 6, the consent agenda. We have check register, council meeting minutes, present certificate of unopposed candidates, which you guys got in your packet, investment report and financial report. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion that we approve the consent agenda items A through E.
I'll second that with two changes, just two grammatical changes to the meeting minutes from February 20th. There and...
Okay, we have a motion by Rick, have a second by Amanda with some changes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. You awake over there? Oh, I didn't see you, I'm sorry. I see you looking down, I'm going. Oh, just now got it, huh? Gee whiz, no wonder you're late. Okay, moving on. New business, number 7, discussion of possible action may be taken on the following items. A, approve payment to Motorola Solutions in the amount of $70,344.43 for the Clearlake Shores PD body camera system and 5G Sierra router Wi-Fi and system approved March of 2022. So, correct me, Cheryl, if I'm wrong, there, and you, David, also, there were more than just body cameras. Wasn't there items that went in the cars and license plate readers? There's quite a bit to this. So this payment is something that has been kind of put off until we got the system running. So instead of making payments along the way like we were supposed to, we had some problems in the beginning. This got set back because I remember they couldn't get routers, so we weren't using the product for a long time actually. And so they deferred some of this, and now it's caught up and it's time to pay some of this. So this was a previously budgeted item. The council approved 100% of this, and that's what this is. And Cheryl, if you'd like to say anything about it, I'd love for you to.
She did a good job explaining it in her request. So I'll move to approve payment to Motorola Solutions in the amount of $70,344.43 for body camera, Sierra router Wi-Fi system.
I'll second that.
Okay, got a motion by Amanda, got a second by Ed. Is there any discussion or questions on this? Okay.
Just want to confirm, it's all up and running, we're good, we're happy. Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah, I was reading
Had
through
to
that.
ask.
That's a pretty impressive system. That really is, especially those license plate readers. That was pretty neat.
Well, it has,
Wow. Yeah, it was a very interesting read. I
Use your
appreciate y'all
microphone,
putting it in the
please.
pack.
It's also reading expired license, insurance, because it's constantly reading.
and it has a lot more capabilities than what we're even using.
It does.
It's upgradable
It does.
for quite a few things.
It sure is.
Okay, any more discussion? All in favor? Motion passes unanimous. Moving on to item B on number 7, approve professional service with Collier's agreement and design to provide general engineering services under the master professional service agreement pertaining to schedule of fees, compensation of general engineering services at an hourly rate, but not to exceed $20,000 allowance. So I may not have had to put this on here, but once again, to be transparent, when he put a $20,000 limit on it, I didn't feel like I wanted to sign a contract for $20,000 when I'm not authorized to do that. But this is, we already approved a master agreement, and this is basically approving them to do the things that we need them to do through the building department that we currently use Cobb Finley for. And that's plan review, some plan review, but mainly through Cobb Finley and Collier's, we would need them to do drainage plan, checking all the drainage plans for new construction and or swimming pools or even remodel work that needs a drainage plan. And so he sent me over an hourly schedule, which was not part of the other schedule. And Alex, I welcome any comments you got, if you got a better way to explain that, being an engineer yourself.
Oh, great. Basically, this is just a master service agreement extension with an amount not to exceed, and this is, I would expect that the building department and the city administrator, whoever's requesting this work would keep, and Cheryl would keep tabs on, hey, once we're running up against that budget number for reviews, if we need to make a change, we can, but it's pretty standard stuff.
All right, thank you, Alex. Do we have a motion to approve that or deny that?
I'll make a motion that we approve the, service agreement with Colliers Engineering and Design to provide general engineering services under the, master professional service agreement.
All second.
All right, got a motion by Rick, got a second by Alex. Is there any discussion, any questions? Okay, all in favor? Okay, motion passes unanimous. Meeting adjourned at 6:50.